Hi folks, hope you're doing well. It's just gone 12 o'clock, midnight. So yeah, I was thinking about a subject earlier that I thought I could do, and then I just come across a video talking about Sir Alex Ferguson's farewell speech. So I thought, okay, I'll do that subject. Because the subject on my mind was that Alex Ferguson, was incredibly lucky that he went to Man United exactly when he did. If he'd have gone there a year earlier or 2 years earlier, he would never probably have won 13 league titles and 2 European Cups and the rest. It wouldn't have happened. Because, a lot of people say it was his genius. Not really, no. He was incredibly fortunate. The scouts finding Beckham, Scholes, Giggs, Butt, the Neville brothers. Finding those players. Yeah, okay. Well, because by the time those players were, in their 20s, by today's standards, those players would have cost you 150 million each. Apart from the Neville brothers, but that's because obviously win-backs don't cost as much. And Nicky Butt would have been a bit less. Nicky Butt would have been about 80, so would Gary Neville. Phil Neville would have been about 60 million. But you've definitely got Beckham, Scholes and Giggs. It would have been at least 150 million. For players of that quality, of that level at that age, you'd have been paying an absolute fortune for. And he was incredibly blessed with just having those players and the fact that they gelled with the older players that he had in at the time. There were moments before those players came through. Before the FA Cup win, right back there, people were questioning very much as to whether Fergus should be kept on because it was looking quite bad. United had always been an FA Cup team during Ron Atkinson's time, and so, if Fergie can only offer the same, then, he would have been got rid of. So if he'd have got there 2 years earlier, they wouldn't have found those players, would they? They certainly wouldn't have been ready to come through for another 2 years. So therefore, he would have run out of time. That's quite likely. He came through at exactly the right time. He joined the club at the right time, started making changes at the right time, found the young players at the right time. They came through at the right time. Everything just happened at the right time. It was as if God had intended that to be the case. Because I watched, Roy Keane talking about the fact that everyone thought that Fergie's man management was so good. But it wasn't, really. It really wasn't. And people think that his choices of, bringing players in was fantastic. Well, again, it wasn't. And people thought that, obviously, he was great at bringing young players through. No, he wasn't. There was only that batch. After that, what young players really came through? The answer is none, really. No. After that, it was incredibly a case of few and far between, where you actually got any gifted players from the youth coming through and actually playing long term for the full team. It was incredibly rare after that would happen. So that's why I say to get Giggs, Keane, Scholes, Butt, Neville. 6 at one time, pretty much all coming through. Yes, Giggs came through the season before, 2 seasons before. But pretty much the same, 6 coming through. And playing that many games for United. And being, world class. That wasn't skill. That was pure luck. Absolute pure luck. Yeah. Well, it's the same with every club. You look at decisions that are made. Sometimes they make good decisions, sometimes bad. Yeah. Put it this way, it seemed pretty obvious that Potter going to Chelsea would be a bad move. It seemed pretty obvious. His level was the level of Brighton. That was his level, and to therefore go to Chelsea, he's trying to, manage at a much higher level now. He should have said no. At that point in time, he should have said no. He'd never managed at a club of that level. Chances are he will never again, because I think he will be sacked. And again, decision making. Had he had stayed at a lower level for a bit longer and managed a bit more, at that level, then he might have been ready. Yeah, I just think, it's quite likely that it was too early for him. But you see this all the way through, where you see this in football. Decisions. There's little decisions that are made. Yeah, that's why I think for United, bringing Rangnick in first, I think that helped immensely. I think that helped Ten Hag immensely in what he's doing now, because Rangnick's philosophy was very, very similar to that of Ten Hag. The way he wanted to play. And although United couldn't play that way for Rangnick, they had a degree of training in that way before Ten Hag came, so it was easier for them to adapt to Ten Hag's way of playing, because they'd already had some training in that way. Now, although it didn't click under Rangnick, and because he was only a short-term manager, he tried to change things. He basically gave up on his own philosophy when he saw the players, and I understood it. When he saw the players, you're going, yeah, okay, I get it. Because he didn't have Martinez, he didn't have Casemiro, he didn't have Eriksen. So, yeah. Yeah. Ten Hag has been greatly helped by probably the best transfer window that any Man United manager has had in the last 10 years at least. Yeah. It definitely was the best. But again, maybe that's going to be a thing. Because again, if Ten Hag had arrived a few years earlier, it would have been a different story for him. He wouldn't be able to play the way he's playing now, because he wouldn't have got the players he's got now. He wouldn't have had them brought in. So timing is so important in events. And for Alex Ferguson, I think he was incredibly fortunate he went at the time he did. A few years earlier, different story completely, quite likely. So, there you go. That was just something that was on my mind to do a video about. And, so there you go. You take care. God bless. Speak to you soon. Enjoy. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.